Welcome. In this analysis, we will deconstruct the complex relationship between your genetics, common stimulants, and your sleep quality. We begin with a paradox that sits at the very heart of modern wellness: an abundance of data, yet a profound deficit of clarity. You possess an unprecedented amount of personal health information. Your smart ring tracks every sleep cycle, your DNA kit has revealed your genetic predispositions, an app logs every single calorie. The logical expectation is optimized performance. And yet, the reality, for so many, is a persistent state of fatigue, of confusion. The system is failing. Let's diagnose precisely why. There is a term for this condition: data fatigue. It occurs when the sheer volume of data completely exceeds your capacity for interpretation. Without context, information just becomes noise. And the result isn't empowerment, it's paralysis. You simply stop engaging with the very tools that were designed to help you. So, we have to identify the core systemic error. The primary antagonist in this story isn't a lack of information, it's a flawed premise, one that underpins almost all conventional health advice: the fallacy of the average human. This right here illustrates a direct conflict. You see, generic advice, which is designed for a statistical mean, can be ineffective or, worse, actively harmful. For example, let's talk about the CYP1A2 gene. It's a key gene for metabolizing caffeine. Recommending coffee to someone with a slow version of this gene is essentially recommending deep sleep disruption. The advice isn't wrong in principle, it's just wrong for that specific individual. So the crucial point is this: health protocols must be personalized right down to the level of the genome. Operating without that foundational context is, quite literally, operating blind. Okay, let's examine a specific case study. The genetic determinants of how you respond to caffeine provide a crystal clear illustration of why one-size-fits-all protocols are failing us. You know, many of us assume our sensitivity, or lack thereof, to caffeine is just a matter of habit or preference, but the data indicates a very different origin. The real question is whether this response is something we learned or if it's actually encoded in our DNA. Consider this number: 0.40. This is what's known as the heritability coefficient for coffee-attributed sleep disturbance. Its meaning is actually quite profound. A rigorous 2007 study of over 3,800 twin pairs quantified this genetic influence, and what it found was that 40% of the difference between how individuals react to caffeine's effect on sleep isn't due to environment or lifestyle, but directly to their genes. Your response is, to a very significant degree, predetermined. Now, this visual demonstrates the evidence in a really powerful way. These are genome-wide linkage plots from that study. Think of each peak you see as a hotspot on your chromosomes, a very specific location where the genes influencing your reaction to caffeine actually reside. This is the genetic fingerprint of caffeine sensitivity, mapped. This table here quantifies the genetic overlap between different kinds of insomnia. What these numbers show is that while there is some shared genetic basis, the link is only moderate. A large portion of the genetic variance is unique to caffeine-induced insomnia. That indicates a distinct biological mechanism is at work. So the key takeaway is this: the trait for being kept awake by coffee isn't just a subset of general sleeplessness. No, it is a specific, heritable trait with its own unique genetic architecture. It's not in your head, it is in your code. All right, the problem has been defined. Generic advice is failing the individual. The evidence has been presented. Your response is genetic. We now arrive at the logical solution: a system that is actually designed to process this complexity. But there's a primary technical barrier, and it's what we call the data silo crisis. Your static genetic blueprint is isolated from your current metabolic status, which is in turn disconnected from your real-time physiological response. These different data streams are completely unaware of each other. They simply cannot generate integrated insights. The solution is a new layer of intelligence: METHOS, a biological operating system. Its triangulation engine is designed to aggregate and interpret these separate data sources. It cross-references your genetic blueprint, your current blood chemistry, and your daily wearable data to create a single, coherent operational picture of you. This analogy really clarifies the functional difference. Current apps are just mirrors. They can only reflect what has already happened. They report that you had a poor night's sleep. A GPS, on the other hand, provides guidance. It analyzes current conditions to prescribe the optimal route forward, preventing the negative outcome in the first place. So let's apply this to our case study. METHOS analyzes your CYP1A2 gene to determine if you are a slow metabolizer. Based on that, it calculates a precise, dynamic caffeine cutoff time. Let's say 10:30 a.m. for you. It then monitors your wearable data to validate that this protocol is successfully protecting your deep sleep architecture. The protocol is predictive, it's personalized, and it's verifiable. We are therefore at the threshold of a new paradigm. The era of passively collecting data is coming to an end. The era of actively operating your own biology based on integrated intelligence has begun. So the directive is clear. Stop making health decisions based on population averages and fragmented data. It's time to start operating your system with precision based on your unique biological code. And we'll conclude with a final question. Is your current health protocol based on the statistical average of millions of other people? Or is it calibrated to the one singular dataset that actually matters, your own?
METHOS, your biological operating system.